Welcome to Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae, the podcast where we empower and inspire you to achieve unstoppable confidence and self-belief. I'm your host, Kalia Janae, a wife, mom, entrepreneur, as well as a certified life coach and motivational speaker with a background in humanities and communication. I'm excited to navigate this transformative journey with you. In each episode, I'll bring you candid conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories from remarkable women who have conquered many challenges and risen to new heights. Get ready to have your crown straightened as we listen, learn, and laugh together so we can level up. Let's dive in. Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome back. OMG, we have the latest and greatest, the newest episode of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I am your favorite mindset coach, the one and only Kalia Janae, and I am so excited to have you here with us today. Y'all, I have with me a phenomenal woman, okay? Kenya, say hey.
Hey, y'all.
Kenya is amazing. She's a new connection of mine. I'm excited to get to know her more and familiarize myself with what she's doing and how she's serving the community. And I mean, just the overall great spirit so far. And as you will become acquainted, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me give you a little bit about her, and then we're going to have the conversation that you came here to hear. So Kenya's Keepsake helps individuals unlearn and relearn how to navigate their relationships based on informed choices rather than relying solely on their surroundings or limited personal understanding. Ooh, doesn't that make you want to learn more? You're like, ooh, okay. I said, ooh, right? Wait a minute now. You mean I don't know everything?
That is a great question and one that I get all the time.
So Kenya, first of all, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We don't take it lightly here. You could be doing anything. You could be having appointments with clients. You could be on a boat somewhere, but you chose to spend a few minutes with us to share your heart and your insights to inspire women worldwide to build their confidence and lower their stress, because that's what we're all about here. And, you know, we always talk about on the show, there's different levels to confidence. There's different categories to confidence. It's not just one size fits all. So I'm excited to have this conversation with you to hear your perspective on how you see things and just what you have to say. So just kind of tell us, how can, in your opinion, in your own words, how can women adapt to changing relationship dynamics, right? Because we've got so much going on all the time. Just as we think we figured it out, something switches up. So tell us more.
Absolutely. Number one, self-awareness. Self-awareness and self-discovery is the number one key to transferring your energies from relationship dynamic to relationship dynamic. And it's not just intimate. It is your family. It is your peers, your co-workers, because everyone is an individual with their own personality. Right. And so you have to shift. It's like code switching, right? Use that in corporate. You have to code. Yes. You have to do that in relationships too, because everyone has a different spirit, everyone has a different energy, and everyone just handles life and situations different. So number one is just being self-aware so that you don't lose yourself in all of these different relationship dynamics, because that transference of energy, it's a real thing that a lot of people don't really take into consideration when they're going through their everyday life. And then when you go to bed at night with yourself, you have to sleep with that.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. And, because a lot of people, women, it's hard for us to nail down, our identity, right? There's so many different options and labels and things we don't need to get into on this show in particular. But when it comes to what you're talking about, that self-awareness and the discovery, you have to take time to know yourself. So what do you say to the woman who she's like, look, okay, I got bills, I got job, I got all these things to do. I don't have time to just be sitting there meditating and reflecting. Like, that's a luxury. Like, what do you say to the person who you're like, yeah, but sis, like, for real, you need to think about you sometimes. Like, what do you say to encourage someone to do that?
Right. And so it's funny you mention that because I have a video on my page where I talk specifically about that. Men and women prioritize their quality time different. They prioritize their needs different. So for women, we will put family, job, whatever else
Everything
before
else.
our nail appointment, a spa appointment. How many women actually go to the spa on a regular basis? And I'm not just talking Mother's Day or birthday, right? I'm talking about really thinking about yourself. But men, on the other hand, their haircuts, they don't have to go anywhere. They are at the barbershop once a week and so on and so forth. So what I would say is that make sure that you find time to prioritize yourself and not make it something that you're only squeezing in for an event. Don't just think of a pedicure and a manicure as an event that you're going to, or getting your hair done. But also when you're in those moments, take them in. Don't rush the process, because once you take that moment in when you're doing your self-care and when you're prioritizing yourself, the way you feel, you're gonna want to feel that all the time, and you're gonna want it to be habitual.
Right.
And so that will be the number one. But to tie it into self-awareness, just make sure it's for you. Everybody don't like going to the nail shop. I mean, that's just honest. All women don't like to do certain things. A lot of women like the gym. I like to dance. I do not like the gym at all. So with that said, it's just be self-aware of what really makes you feel good in your alone time, and then sit in that and make it habitual.
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically, she had a very amazing explanation for it all. And I'm going to simplify it to just start. You got to start, you like something, right? If you like to eat, just go ahead. I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but just go ahead and have lunch with yourself every once in a while. I always say, look, I'm my biggest fan. I love me. I think I'm hilarious. I hang out with me. I coach me. I'd be like, dang girl, you need to, I have meetings with me.
I tell all my friends, like, I'm funny. Yeah. I am funny. They be like, no, you're not. I'm like, I should take this on the road. And look, if you don't want to go, then that's fine.
I used to get a lot of feedback. A lot of people, what do you go to the movies alone? You do whatever alone? How can I expect other people to want to spend time with me if I don't want to spend time with me? If you don't want to spend time with you, that's a red flag. Like you need to figure out what it is that makes you so uncomfortable. Right? So just be with yourself, because other people can feel that, whether or not they say it to your face or not. If they can sense you're uncomfortable, you're unsure, you're second guessing yourself all the time. Well, what do you guys think? Or what do you guys want to do? I'm okay. You're not really making decisions. Like you need someone else to do all the things. They're going to realize that and maybe not be attracted to it. Or you might attract the wrong people that think they can push you around and do whatever they want you to do all the time. So you really do. There's value in getting to know yourself. And loving yourself, and like Kenya's saying, prioritizing yourself, because then you'll notice that the other people in your life are there because they like you too.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that I go over in Kenya's Keepsake, is that's a part of codependency and also attachment styles. I do a course on there's 5 attachment styles, and that is what's going along to what you're saying, because if you can't sit with yourself, if you can't be with yourself, you should explore your attachment style. And that is very important in self-discovery and getting to know yourself, because even when you're out, who do you find yourself navigating towards? What type of crowds when you're in a big festival? What type of festivals are you going to? And so again, like you're saying, it's really about being alone with yourself, because what you don't want to happen is that if you can't sit with yourself and you're around other people and those things come out, now you're not pleasurable anymore. You're not a joy to be around anymore. And it could have just been one instance of a buildup. But people always remember that one situation that happened that could have been avoided if you just knew yourself and was like okay with sitting with yourself.
Absolutely. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit here, because we're not alone most of the time, right? We operate in silos, even though it feels like it emotionally sometimes. But, for those who are out in the world, right? they're building their careers and they've got their goals. Obviously, everyone listening to this podcast has something that they're working on, whether it's themselves or a professional career or something. So what do you say to people who, they're like, okay, look, this is a lot. Like, I know I'm great. I want to be great, but the greatness is heavy. So how do you respond to people that are trying to balance their career with their personal goals and trying to be self-aware and drink water and work out and all the things?
As simple as it might seem right now, it is about prioritizing. And it's about knowing what needs to be done now and what can be done later. Everything does not have to be done in one day. And I'm not saying that I've always had this down pat. And sometimes I still get lost in this. I want everything to happen in 1 hour, in one day. I tried time blocking, I did. But when my mind goes and when I have a client, for an example, I have a client, it's 30 minutes. That 30 minutes, what did they say? Coaching math, 30 minutes equals 1 hour and a half. It's all about the success, right? Because you have to know what you can do now and what you can put off later. Because you look up, for an example, you have a deadline or you're pushing for something and you're neglecting one thing that needed to be done before that other one, but you got so caught up in trying to be perfect and trying to make sure that you accomplish everything at one time. And what people should know is that there's always building steps. There's a ladder for a reason. There's stairs for a reason. And it's because you have to take the steps because one is going to be greater than the other. Absolutely. Right? But if you skip it, then everything's going to fall back down and you're always going to find yourself back at square one.
Yeah, bruised and bumped up and hurt and everything.
Exactly. And so number one would be to prioritize what can be done. And then how it makes you feel too. If you're starting to feel anxious, if you are starting to feel unaccomplished, and number one, I should have said this number one, if you're starting to feel like you have to give up, that's when you need to take a pause and then bring it back.
That's so important. So she's letting you know, and it's something that I share all the time, y'all. It is possible. Life is a buffet. You just need to make one plate at a time.
Yes. Yes. And I'm glad that is a good one. Because what you do is because your eyes get bigger, right? So your eyes get big for those dreams. Your dreams are your stomach, right? And so your eyes, you just see it and you just want to fill it up and fill it up and fill it up in that one setting. But what happens when you bring that plate back? You have two plates on your table. Dip it into both of them, and guess what? Neither one of them are finished.
Right. You can't taste nothing. Everything's running together. Like it doesn't even.
Tired. You're ready to go to sleep. You at the restaurant like this, slumped over and everything. But wouldn't it have been better if you put things on one plate, finished that plate, felt good? The taste was good. Like you enjoyed that meal in that company, and now you can go back for more. Right.
So it's perfect. I mean, listen, I'm a word nerd. I love cliches. I love analogies and metaphors, all the things, right? Like, because it's true. Like you can imagine that, like whether or not you're an actual buffet goer, we have some, health enthusiasts in the audience, that's fine, but you understand the point, right? Like you want to climb Mount Everest, bet you need to start with some trails and some smaller elevations before you head out to Mount Everest. It's the same thing, right? Like these are skills that you build through practice. It's not like a talent where you just woke up like, oh, God gave me the ability to time manage. Okay, great. A lot of us, myself included, it's a skill that we have to work at.
Yes.
A muscle that we have to build and train ourselves. And we slip up and then we, okay, I messed up. I got distracted. I was scrolling too long. Okay, let me get back to my schedule. Don't stay mad at yourself. Just course correct and move forward.
It's all about being solution driven. I am a solution-driven person by nature. I am solution-driven coach. And like you're saying, it is a journey. It is a roadmap. I do roadmaps because you have to start here. Like you're saying, Mount Everest. There's no way I could go run Mount Everest right now. I have to train. Listen, I'll get tired trying to get there.
Right. Loading up the backpack. I'm, ooh, this is not for me.
Yes. And so you have to start somewhere, because going back to self-discovery, you have to discover why you even need to be where you want to go. Mm-hmm. And why you are where you are now. And so that's why Kenya's Keepsake coaches people to unlearn and relearn. Mm-hmm. Because like you said before, everything changes. Everything comes at you fast. Time waits for no one. That cliche there, you know, people say it waits for tomorrow. Sometimes it doesn't even wait for the rest of the day.
Right.
Okay. And so things that you've learned growing up in a certain environment, those are no longer happening today. It doesn't matter how many times people want to bring back the traditions grandma and grandpa did before. It's not happening.
No, it's not.
So we need to adapt.
Speaking of family, especially, right? I kind of want to, I want to have this conversation around. It seems like an oxymoron, especially in the Black community. This word, healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Right. So I'm listening. You triggered this thought and this question to me, talking about, the traditions, of our, grandparents, parents, whomever, and a lot of important things are passed down, and it's great. You use those things, continue the family values. Like I'm not an anarchist by any means. What I am saying though is a lot of times when you are working on yourself, the people who are very well-meaning, who love you more than anyone else in the world, will look at a change or a transition and question it and say, oh, but I'm not, but should you be doing that? Or why do you want to eat that? Or why do you, what's wrong with how we always did it? So what do you say to those people who they know they're called for more? They know they want to, they know they're the little cute caterpillar who needs to cocoon and become a butterfly, but they're concerned because they don't know how to have those kinds of boundaries with people who they love, or even people they don't know, right? Social media exists. So for people who are struggling with their boundaries, but they know that they are on that greatness is on the other side for them, how do you help them establish those boundaries that they need?
Oh my goodness, this is so great. And I could go on this forever, just even with personal experiences, because for an example, I'm a daddy's girl and my daddy is old school to the old school. And so he doesn't understand this entrepreneurship thing, right? Okay. And so when I stopped working my 9 to 5, he thought my world was crumbling. He thought he was going to have to come to the rescue. Oh my God, you're not going to have. And so his thing was, if you have to go get a job for $20 an hour, then go, because it's some kind of income. And so at first, I will say it kind of offended me. You think I can do $20 an hour, Dad? No, absolutely not. I'm worth so much more. But I had to realize that he doesn't understand. My dad is a truck driver and has been my entire life. Mm-hmm. And so he's a labor person. So what I had to do was just basically explain to him and show him the benefits of what's happening. My daddy doesn't follow me on social media. He doesn't even have social media. He just has TikTok, which is crazy.
Sure.
I show him my videos. He thought I was on there doing other stuff. I'm like, no, this is what it is. And, these are the courses and the coaching and X, Y, and Z. And so still he's like, all right.
Super skeptical.
He has more of an understanding. So what I would say is first, don't get offended and don't take anything personal. Don't get offended because everybody doesn't understand and everything isn't for everybody. Mm-hmm. That's number one. And also everyone doesn't know what your personal feel goods are. That's what we're going to call them, feel goods. I pole dance. All right. To some, it might be like, oh my God, but that built my confidence when I was 25 years old. I was just getting out of a relationship with my daughter's father. I was very heavy. I was wearing sweatsuits every day. And it took my mom one day to say, another sweatsuit, huh? And I was like, I have to do something because I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I found a pole dance studio and I started pole dancing. My confidence went through the roof. But other people would not see pole dancing as, so I would have to say it was pole exercising.
Sure.
because that sounds better, right? It's
Right.
but it's very popular now, right? It's
Yeah.
very popular. But I lost 90 pounds.
Wow.
I was very fit, flexible. Because I've been a dancer my entire life, but that is a different kind of strength.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, don't let anyone tell you what makes you feel good, what your advice is, what builds your confidence, because it's not for them.
Right.
It's not
That's
for
so important.
them. It is for you. Wow. And then, like I said, you can explain it to them. Again, not in an offended way, but explain it to them to tell them why it benefits you. Mm-hmm. Right? So I started pole exercising, and look at me now. I'm 90 pounds lighter. You want to come with me? Oh, no, that's not for you. Oh, well, cool. But what is
right
that way, so that you save yourself the anxiety of not wanting to be around this person, or like, what are they gonna say now? Oh my gosh, I'm going around Aunt Dorothy again. Like, she's gonna question. So
yeah.
Ooh, yes.
And it comes down to, honestly though, you really don't have to validate your existence or your goals, or really you don't have to. It's because we love this person, or because you value them or respect them, that you want them to understand. But the reality is, even if you go through as many hoops as you want to try to explain it to them, it may not stick, and that's okay. And sometimes you may not want to explain it. You can simply just say, it's important to me. This is what I want to do. Thank you for your support. You can be very polite and short. I'm known for being polite and short at the same time.
Yes.
You can be very polite, very respectful, very polite and short, but like, it's a period, not a comment. Like, we don't have to keep talking about it. Sometimes, you just get to a place where you're comfortable and you're okay. And even that might still throw some people off, right? Like, they're expecting for you to give a bigger explanation or to go into more detail, and you don't have to. If you're reading the situation, right, that awareness, right? And you're getting the sense that, okay, this person is willing to listen to what I have to say, they'll take it seriously, by all means, go into the deepest discussion you feel comfortable having. But if it's one of those situations, and I'm emphasizing those because we all kind of know those cringy moments where someone's asking you, but they don't really want to know, they're looking for a reason to negate what you have to say, it's a non-start for me. I'm going to give you the simplest answer. I'm going to smile and be polite, and genuinely, and it's not a fake smile, a real smile, but there's just no need for me to work myself up or to open the door to be offended or to offend you. We'll just thank you. Yes. I'm excited about my journey. I can't wait to see what God has for me. And that's it.
Absolutely. And that goes back to, I was engaged back when I was 25. The year 25 was a huge transformation for me, which was awesome. It was an awesome transformation. But I was engaged and unengaged. But going back to what you're saying about validating, some people that, because of course I got the what happens, why, mm-hmm. But then there were some that was like, yay.
Wait a minute.
But I say that to say, the ones where you give them a little explanation on what happened, right? Mm-hmm. But then there are some that just want to know, like, what happened? You can also tell about a tone. Mm-hmm. Tone is very important when you are discussing something, or when someone is bringing to you. You genuinely know, and you can tell in their tone which validation or explanation, or none at all, that you want to give. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to conflict resolution styles. I also have a course on conflict resolution styles, because that's important too. Yeah. One of them is competitive, and one of them is avoidance, right? And so those are the things where, if you're competitive, like you're saying, going back and forth, trying to validate, trying to push your beliefs and what you do on the other person, and you guys are going back and forth, but you really do not have to.
No.
And avoidance is not always a bad thing. Avoidance is the one where it's like, this is what it is. We're not going to have this conversation.
Right. We're going to enjoy dinner.
Yes, exactly.
Enjoy the cookout, y'all. Don't start a fight. Just
yeah.
Okay, so true to form, the time goes by way too fast in these conversations. So, Kenya, we're approaching now what is known around here in the CLC community as the final word. Okay, so we've covered a lot in this short amount of time. Like, I I don't know about anyone else who's listening, but I'm ready to look you up and figure out more and where I can hear you speak and all the things. But before we get into how we can keep in touch with you, we're going to have the final word. And our listeners, they're preparing themselves because they're like, okay, my lunch break's almost over, or I just parked my car, I'm ready to get out, I got to go to my meeting. So what is the main thing that you want, from your God-given wisdom to our hearts? What is the main thing you want to leave us with?
I want everyone to know that self-awareness is a roadmap, and it's not something that's overnight, but it's something that you do need to take your time with. And I'm not talking about just, oh my God, I like this, I like that. No. How do you feel? What do you like to smell? What do you like to touch? What makes you feel anxious? What makes you feel good? All of those type of things. So self-awareness is not one thing. It is a roadmap forever.
Wow. Y'all, you heard it here. Self-awareness is a roadmap for forever. And you have to use it to discover yourself so you can have better relationships with others. Oh my gosh, Kenya, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. It's such a blessing. Well, your time, once you spend it, you can never return it, get a refund, or get it back. And to be here with you in the present is a true gift. So, yeah, if you want to, because I know you want to keep in touch with Kenya and find out more about Kenya's Keepsake, go ahead and visit www.kkeepsake.com. You already know in the in the description of our podcast episode, I've got a link there. You can click it, copy, paste, however you connect to the internet and do that. Also, hop over to the Crown Level Confidence Between the Episodes Facebook group and drop a positive word for something you heard today. Give her some affirmation. If you have a quick question, and I mean quick because you know the difference between needing an appointment and asking a quick question.
Right.
Okay. If it's going to take you more than 120 characters, you might want to just get on her calendar. But no, if you got something that, you heard her say specifically in this episode you want to ask her about, just go ahead and post it in the group there. She'll see it. And like I said, if you want to get more information about working with her, hearing her speak, go to her website, follow her. She already told you she's on TikTok and social media. By all means, we're growing the community here. I love having strong, powerful women of similar professions, and similar things, but we all have different approaches to things. So I'm here bringing her to y'all bringing her to y'all so that you can hear, first of all, Clea's not crazy. These things I'm telling you are true. Yes. But yes. Secondly, you may connect with Kenya in a different way than me. And I'm here to tell you, you heard it from me. It is totally okay. I know y'all love me and I love y'all. And again, thank you, Kenya. Thank y'all for listening. Stay tuned for some special announcements. And y'all, just be blessed. I love y'all. Bye. Thank you for tuning into another empowering episode of Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found it both insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the show and share your journey of confidence and self-belief, please reach out to me at podcast@kaliajanae.com. I'm always eager to connect with remarkable individuals who have a story to tell. And for those interested in connecting with me for speaking engagements or mindset coaching, you can find more information on my website, kaliajanae.com. I'd love to hear from you and explore how we can work together to inspire and empower others. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode filled with actionable tips and heartfelt stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire even more people to straighten their crowns. Remember, your journey to unstoppable confidence is a continuous adventure. I'm happy to support you every step of the way. Keep believing in yourself, keep shining, and always wear your crown with pride. Until next time, this is Kalia Janae, your host, signing off. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep leveling up.